Hey everyone, this is Shirley Solis with ShirleySolis.com, and I hope you're having a wonderful week. Today I want to talk to you about leaving a legacy. In the last week I hosted an event here in South Florida called Legacy Leadership Miami. And this event, the goal of this event was to bring and gather together influencers, right? All of these different leaders, community leaders, business owners, government officials, like all of these different people who are making a difference in our community and who also happen to be parents. And so we understand that when we have a calling in our lives, like a purpose of something we're trying to accomplish, and we have a family, it's pretty hard to balance those two out. So we do also understand that the success that we have in our community is also directly related to the success we have at home. Now, I know that many times we see a very successful person who is doing great in the community, but their house may be falling apart. And that's not, in my opinion, a very successful person. I'm talking a person who is well-rounded successfully. So my idea was to bring together these influencers so we could talk about how to make family life successful and how to also allow that to reach and impact the community that we are living in so that we can leave a legacy. So today I want to talk to you about that concept. I want to share with you a little bit about what that whole concept of legacy was and kind of let you think through and process, because I want to ask you if you're leaving a legacy, okay? So what basically is legacy? Well, legacy is when you take your God-given passion, like your purpose in life, right? Your message in this world, and you share it from your heart, from like just the bottom of your heart with another person, right? When you take that God-given dream and you share it from your heart to the heart of another person. Now, the beauty of that is that when it is legacy and you're sharing your passion, this message, rather than getting diminished, it gets magnified. I don't know if you've ever played a game called 7-Up. And the game 7-Up, basically you're sitting down in a circle with a group of people and you share something quietly from ear to ear to the next person and to the next person. I don't know if you've ever played it, but when you get to, like, let's say if there's 10 people and you're the one that's starting the sentence, and then it gets shared and shared and shared from the one person to the next, by the time it gets to the last person, that whole message is warped, it's diminished, it is fallen up to pieces, like it changes completely in a bad way, okay? And so, but that's not what happens with legacy. You can have multiple generational legacy, and rather than diminishing the message, when it is through legacy and it's going from our heart to the next heart and to the next heart, it gets magnified. This message amplifies. This message becomes more focused. It becomes more intent. I mean, there are so many people that have left a message, have left a legacy in this world. And I can particularly think that I want to leave a legacy. I really want to be that person that is leaving a legacy. And how do I do that? It's like by first finding that God-given purpose, that message, whatever that message is in your life, right? And then taking those values that you stand for, taking those ideas that you believe in, and then sharing them with the next generation, and that's usually first, that legacy ideally should be happening in our family. Like we should pass on to our children those beliefs that we have, those ideas that we have, those messages, like our God-given purpose, right? And so then it gets passed down, and then it gets magnified. And then when they pass it down to their kids, it gets magnified. So that's how you know you are leaving a legacy. We could leave a legacy, of course, in our work, in our calling, in our business organization, whatever. We're always leaving a legacy. And it's interesting to note that we can leave a negative legacy. Like there could be a legacy of brokenness, of shattering, of pain, of divorce, a legacy of like just all these kind of things. But we can choose to have a positive legacy, or a negative legacy. So I would encourage you to, as the person that you are watching this video today, to really think through what your legacy is in the world. Like you need to identify, what message am I leaving in this world? What is the one thing that I want to pass down? Because that's important. Before you pass it down, you got to identify that message. And then once you've identified it, you got to find the way, and you got to say, okay, how can I pass this down to my children so that they can live this legacy? If yours is an entrepreneurial legacy, a legacy of serving your community, a legacy of helping children or helping the other elderly, whatever your legacy is, and then sharing that with your children and finding ways of sharing that passion in a way that's so committed that then it gets magnified and magnified and magnified and magnified through generations to come. So with that said, I hope that this message has really kind of hit home a little bit for you, especially if you're a leader, a community person who is wanting to make an impact in your life and wanting to leave your mark in this world. Okay, so think through it. Maybe tonight, sit down with your spouse, make this a conversation piece for your family, and identify what is your legacy. What are the things that you'd like to leave in this world? Like, what is your message? And then once you've identified that, maybe think through what are some of the ideas and things that puppies in. What are some of the ideas that you think you could implement in order to pass down this legacy from your generation to the next generation? Okay. Of course, I'm making this happen here locally, and in the United States. I am the first person that, as a mom and as an entrepreneur, I am helping families and leaders build a legacy by identifying the 4-pillar blueprint, by understanding that we build our family starting with the vision first. Okay, so if you want to connect with me, if you want to send me an email, find out more details of how to do this, definitely reach out to me. If you also want to watch a training where I talk about the vision of the family, then make sure you visit shirleysolis.com/training, shirleysolis.com/training. And in that video, in that special training, you'll be able to understand, the first pillar is the pillar of vision. And when we understand what happens and what goes into that, that's when we know how to leave the legacy, okay? Well, I love you guys. I hope you're having a wonderful week. Make sure that you leave your mark in this world, that you're leaving a legacy with your family, with your community, in your community, and in your family. And I'll look forward to connecting with you again soon, all right? Take care. Bye-bye.